Okay, so welcome to the HEX High Accelerator information session. I'd like to start by acknowledging that we are meeting here today on the traditional land of the Brayakalung people of the Gunai-Kurnai Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal people present with us today. My name is Amanda Elliott. I work for the Latrobe City Council in the Economic Development team. So a little bit of background behind the HEX High Accelerator. So this program supports innovation, economic diversification, and meeting the future needs of our region. Its aim is to grow and retain a skilled workforce and create high quality jobs and long-term career pathways for young people. So this initiative is made possible with support from the Victorian Government and Latrobe City Council. I'd now like to hand over to Ashwin from HEX, who will go through the information session.
Thank you, Amanda. Hi, everyone. This is Ashwin, and I will look after digital programs and our customers at HEX. So if you join the HEX High program, that's who you'll be talking to. I'll be looking after you and your students. So just a quick overview of what we do and how this program is run. If you've never met us before, if you've never worked with us before, HEX is a for impact Aussie company, and we believe in life-changing for credit experience for students. And the aim is just to get them ready for the exponential future. The future of work is always changing, and we believe that we need to be, a few steps ahead of everyone else, and that's what we try to do. And the best part is it's for credit experiences. Since we started working, we have helped thousands of startups and young founders, and we hope that your students get to be our next batch of founders who become, who change the world. So what is the HEX High Accelerator? I'll also be calling this the HEX High program for short, but basically students will complete our award-winning innovation program over 6 weeks. They will cover things like problem and solution brainstorming. Think of all the problems you see in your community, in your city, in your country, maybe even globally. What solutions can you think of? Think of market research. How do you go out to people and talk to them about your problem, about your possible solution? Business model canvassing. Think about your value proposition. How do you plan to make money? What costs go into your business? How do you reach out to your customers? What's your target audience? We also talk about prototyping and branding, because every business needs to have some sort of prototype so that you can show something to your customers. Branding. You might have a great product, but if you don't have branding, there's nothing. And finally, pitching and storytelling, which is super, super important, because you might have an amazing product, but if you can't communicate your idea, well, what's the point? In the program, students will participate in weekly workshops with the HEX team and weekly industry mentoring sessions. We'll bring in industry mentors from all across Australia and the Southeast Asia APAC region, and your students will get the chance to talk to those mentors and talk to them about their careers, figure out their businesses, how things work, or just ask questions, just have a chat. Okay, program details. So about 5 hours of commitment per week for the student. So that would include 1 hour of workshops, 2 hours of mentoring, and any other work that they put in after hours at home or any other time that they find. We will provide them with additional resources. Those additional resources are to complement the learning at the workshops and at mentoring. So about 5 to 6 hours maximum commitment per week. We've got a few cohorts coming up. Term 3 starts on July 28, and then Term 4 starts later in the year in October. Our program is recognized by the University of Sydney. So if students successfully complete the program, and I'll get into successful completion criteria in a bit, if they complete it successfully, you get 1 credit. You get recognized for 1 credit at the undergrad level from the University of Sydney. And that is, I think, the best thing about doing this program, because while you're at school, you've already knocked off 1 subject, and you don't even need to go to Uni Sydney if you don't want to. Any university that recognizes Uni Sydney, let's take, for example, Latrobe University or University of Melbourne, you can apply for credit transfers with that academic transcripts. You've knocked off 1 subject even before getting to uni, and I think that's the best part about getting recognized from Uni Sydney. Just a quick overview of what the 6 weeks are going to look like. Week 1, all workshops happen 5 to 6 p.m. AEST. For the October program, we moved to AEDT, but it is still 5 to 6 p.m. We go through founders' mindsets, your values as a founder, what kind of, what drives you, your passion, your why statements. Then we move into problem solution brainstorming, market analysis and research, business model canvas, prototype branding, and then pitching storytelling. So those are what the 6 weeks are going to look like. After the 6 weeks, we've got an optional pitch showcase. This is where founders can actually pitch their ideas in real time to an audience. The audience will be all the teachers that have taken part in the program. We'll get some of our industry friends in. We'll get a couple of judges in as well. It's to simulate a real world pitch day where founders will actually face questions from our expert judges. Every founder gets a prize of some sort. There's no one winner. Every founder gets a prize, but it's to simulate a real competition where industry experts ask founders questions.
Great. And I just wanted to add in there, Ashwin, as part of the one for the Latrobe, we've got 2 in-person sessions. So we will have a kickoff call, which will be in person,
Yep.
which is before the program starts. And then we'll also have an in-person pitch showcase where community and parents, teachers will be invited so that the students can also, they'll have the practice online and then they'll be able to do it in person as well.
Thanks for that, Amanda. And yeah, honestly, I think that's it works out really well because then your students get to practice the pitch while submitting that pitch, then a pitch showcase online, and then the in-person pitch as well. So just a lot of pitch practice. Get out there, talk to people about your idea, because the more you talk to them about your idea, the better you get and the more confident you get at presenting a story. Here's what the student journey is going to look like. We'll start off with some digital modules. So these pre-learning digital modules are complementary to the workshops and mentoring. They are not a replacement. They are additional resources. Think of them as a textbook. You do your main learning in class, but then you've also got the textbook for additional resources, for more reading, for homework. That's kind of what the digital modules are for. Virtual workshops, 1 each week, Tuesday, 5 to 6 p.m. Mentoring happens Wednesdays and Thursdays, again, 5 to 6 p.m. We'll get our industry friends in and talk to, students get to chat about future career plans, how our mentors got to where they are, talk to them about successes, failures, their business ideas, whatever it is. Checkpoints. So each week, students will submit a checkpoint due on the Sunday, 11:59 p.m. That checkpoint is just a reflection of that week's work. It's to gauge that the students actually on track and learning what we want them to learn. I've gone through the pitch showcase and then academic credit. I'll get to this in just a bit, but if students successfully complete the program, they get academic credit. A typical student that we work with is usually someone who's explorative, who's curious, who's hungry to learn, who's passionate. They want to, think out of the box. They have high potential. They're not scared to try new things. They're not scared of failure. They're not scared of, getting out of their comfort zone. So that's the kind of students that we work with. And we work with students all across Australia and the Asia Pacific region. So here's a quick look at what the digital modules will look like. We've got 11 modules, and we go right from the beginning where we talk about innovation. What is innovation? What is entrepreneurship? And then all the way through to customers, problem ideation, prototyping, financing, because you can't have a business if you don't raise money from somewhere. It could either be getting money through your customers, could be VCs, could be angels, whatever it is. And then finally presenting yourself. So 11 modules covered through 6 weeks. We've got our videos have been filmed with our industry instructors, and our instructors come from companies like Upbank. We've got them from Google, from Shapes and Sounds, from Telstra, from Giant Leap, from Tractor Ventures. Where possible, we've tried to have our industry instructors, mentors, speakers from Australian companies, but sometimes we also provide a multinational company like Google, for example. Here's what our learning management platform looks like, and this is what the modules will look like. This is just, innovating problems, and this is what the module will look like. A pretty sleek and simple interface, short videos, short text, and just click on next, and then you go on to the next page. No long, boring chapters, I promise. Here's what our workshops look like. Our workshops are super fun. We have a lot of GIFs. We have a lot of chat interaction. We always believe that you learn better when you engage with the content. And how do we get you to engage? We get in experts that are super fun, and they will prompt your students to put in answers in the chat and with themselves, raise their hands. And we just believe that the platform that we use butter, is super engaging. It's more engaging than your typical Zoom. And that's why, our workshops just are very fun. And that's one of our values as well. Every week, they'll receive a recap email. So every Wednesday, a recap email goes out with learnings from that workshop, recordings from that workshop, slides, and then reminders of what's coming up next. So this is what the post-workshop email looks like. Okay, on to mentoring. Again, with mentoring, we try to source all of our mentors from Australian companies, but sometimes we will also go to multinational companies like Google, for example, or Atlassian. But otherwise, our mentors come from companies like Zendesk, Amazon, Atlassian, Seek, PressRun, Google, a whole host of companies. 2 hours of mentoring per week. And I think the best part about mentoring is because our mentors are so open-minded, for that 1 hour, you can talk to them about anything that you want. And if the mentor can't help you right then and there, they may be able to get you connections to their friends or their industry network. So here's just a quick example. We had a student from OLMC in Parramatta, and she connected with our mentor, Annette, from Takuma. And Annette couldn't find the right, Annette wasn't the right connection, but she helped Ashwini, our OLMC student, get the right connection in the industry. So if we can't help you, I think something that HEX really believes in is a rising tide lifts all boats. So if we can't help you right then and there, we will try to find you someone that can help you. Here's what the checkpoints look like. The checkpoints are done all on the platform. They're super simple. They're broken down. A rubric is provided so students know exactly what they need to submit for a high grade. But it's not just the grading. It's not just the submission of the checkpoint. We provide expert detailed feedback. And here's just, a couple of screenshots of what that feedback looks like. We go deep into your idea. We give you feedback. We praise you for all the good things you've done. And then we gently nudge you in the right direction if you're going down the wrong path. Here's what the optional pitch showcase looks like. While we do recommend everyone to join the pitch showcase, we also understand that it's a bit of an extra commitment, which is why it's an optional one. But this is what the pitch showcase looks like. We get some special guests in as our judges. A couple of founders, usually 6 to 7 founders, present the pitches live, and then our special guests ask them questions. It's just to give them a new perspective on their business. It's not to grill them. It's not to demoralize them. It's just to give them a new perspective on their business. Okay, now let's get to the most interesting bit, academic credit. So on successful completion of the course, you get 2 certificates. One is from HEX. It's just a certificate of completion. Here's your score. Here's what you've done, all the topics that you've covered. And then an academic transcript, a graded transcript from the University of Sydney. And this is what it looks like. Now, what does successful completion looks like? I said successful completion 1,000 times by now, but it basically means that students submit all 6 checkpoints. They get a pass or above in all 6 checkpoints. They attend a minimum of 3 workshops, and then they also attend a minimum of 3 mentoring sessions. So if you meet all 4 criteria, that's a successful completion of the course, and that's what makes you eligible for our certificate of completion and the transcript from Uni Sydney. What if students can't submit on time? That's also okay. We do provide special consideration and extensions. Those have to be requested in advance, though. But also only for valid reasons. If you're traveling, if you're just going away on a leave, that's not a valid reason. Valid reasons include things like bereavement, illness, or a school competition, or a school commitment that cannot be moved. So either students email us, or you email us with a reason why your student cannot meet that deadline, and we will provide an extension. Okay, here's what the journey looks like for you, the teacher, our main, partners in crime for this program. We'll do a teacher kickoff. So a week or 2 weeks before the program, we'll do a teacher kickoff. We'll get you onto our platform. We'll give you all the information you will need to better support your students. We will send you the same comms as the students receive each week, but we also realize that teachers get a whole lot of emails and we don't want to spam your inbox. So you can opt in or you can opt out depending on what your preference is. If you want to receive the same comms as your students, just let us know and we'll put you in the same mailing list as the students. There will be a mid-program report, a post-program report, and of course the pitch showcase. The typical teacher or principal that works with us believes in skills-driven learning. It's not just theory, they also believe in skills and actual real-world applications. the teachers that we work with believe that learning should be engaging and fun, and that's kind of where we come in and impact. You know, it's delivering theory is okay, but a lot of teachers and principals believe that you also need to start creating impact if you can, and that's the kind of teachers and principals that we work with. And industry relevance, like I've already mentioned. This is what the mid-program and the end-of-program report looks like. At both reports, you will get an overview of where your students are versus the rest of the cohort. So, attendance, grades. Are there any issues that we flagged? Are there any issues that have come up? Maybe someone needs an extension. Maybe someone's emailed us with something concerning. We will keep you in the loop as much as we can, but we also want to reiterate that this is a university level program and we are preparing students for the real world. We want them to learn things and do things on their own. So we will try and keep issues between students and ourselves, get students to solve the issues on their own. But whenever we need intervention, we will email you or we will prompt the student to email you so that we can get talking. Our tech stack, we use a whole host of industry-leading tech tools, things like Accredible, that's where our certificate's sent from, Canva for all presentations, for slide decks, and we highly encourage students to use Canva, Figma for prototyping, industry-leading tool, again, Miro, Notion, Loom, all of those are industry-leading collaborative tools, and we want to upscale today's students. So when they go out into the real workforce a couple of years later, they're not faced with strange tools that they need to learn afresh. They already know how things work. Here's some of our rave reviews that we've received from students and from principals and teachers, from OLMC Parramatta, from Hills Grammar in New South Wales, from Parramatta Marist High School. Our teachers and principals that we work with absolutely love HEX High. Our students love HEX High, and there's a reason why we usually get a 9.5 plus on a 10 rating for each cohort. If you've got any questions for Latrobe City, any questions that only Latrobe City can solve, please get in touch with Amanda. But if you've got any questions that HEX can solve for you, if you want to reach out to us for a partnership or any issues with enrollment, anything of that sort, please get in touch with us at hello@startwithhex.com